Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and for the first time in ages, welcome to another Black Ops 4 video. I've been playing this game a lot as of late, and I've also noticed that pretty much every YouTuber under the sun has been making these old Call of Duty game in 2020 videos as of late, and I get that, right? I mean, this is basically just that, it's Black Ops 4 in 2020, but the thing is, I feel as though Black Ops 4 in 2020 is a much better game than it was back in 2018 or even 2019. Now, don't get me wrong, if you guys are still enjoying Modern Warfare as Season 1 comes to an end, that's awesome. I'm happy for you. But for me personally, I'm basically just waiting to see what Infinity Ward is going to be adding to the game, as well as what Season 2 has to offer. But in the meantime, I've been back playing the older Call of Duty titles, and in that time, I've basically fallen back in love with Black Ops 4. During the Black Ops 4 lifecycle, there was obviously a ton of controversy, right? I covered all of it here on the channel. We had the lack of content at launch, we had the overuse of recycled content from previous Call of Duty games, the multiplayer aspect of Black Ops 4 saw a severe lack of support throughout the entire year, and obviously things like the Black Ops Pass and supply drop weapons were discussed non-stop throughout the Black Ops 4 lifecycle. But now that that lifecycle is over, for all intents and purposes, most if not all of those issues have been resolved, and what we have left is a pretty damn complete game that is a lot of fun for fans to continue playing. I think for me personally, the biggest reason why I wanted to go back to Black Ops 4 was because it's so much different than Modern Warfare. I wanted to go back to the fast-paced, gunfight-oriented gameplay, and I'm really enjoying that, but what kept me playing every single day for the past week is the fact that Treyarch decided to revamp the black market system a couple of months ago. So for those who don't know, what they did is they basically made it so supply drops can be used as a currency to directly purchase DLC weapons that you do not own. It costs 50 supply drops to get the individual gun that you want, and that gun comes with 5 duplicate protected crates, which contain 15 total black market items that you don't have, which could be anything from weapon charms to blackout characters to weapon camos and even other DLC weapons, though the chances of you getting a DLC weapon from a crate are obviously going to be pretty low, but still, it's nice that you can directly earn these weapons by saving up 50 supply drops. Now on top of that, Blackjack's shop has 3 deals running at any given time, and all of these can be purchased with supply drops as well. These are completely random, but as you guys can see, right now one of my deals is to exchange 30 supply drops for a new blackout character, and the reserves stack section is especially nice because even though the chances are low, DLC weapons can appear here as well as blackout characters and other things, and they only cost 2 total supply drops, and what is in there rotates every 4 hours. All of these changes were implemented right about the time that Modern Warfare came out, but obviously because a new Call of Duty was out, I didn't really go back to play much Black Ops 4, I was more focused on the new title, but now that I've gone back to Black Ops 4, I find myself really enjoying this new system. I discussed it a couple of weeks ago in my video where I took the past decade of Call of Duty games and ranked them worst to best, but in there, during the Black Ops 4 section, I discussed one of my favorite aspects of Black Ops 4 is the fact that I find the entire game to be fun. Whereas traditionally, I'm normally just a multiplayer only guy, I ended up putting almost 9 days of playtime into Blackout and Zombies in addition to all the time that I put into the multiplayer. Well, over the past week, I've been looking forward every day to signing in, jumping into the multiplayer, and doing my contracts. And once I'm done with that, I jump into Zombies and do my contracts, as well as get my additional daily tier skip, and then from there I jump into Blackout and do what contracts I can over there. Because of that, I'm saving up a bunch of supply drops very quickly, which means the more I play, the more I'm working towards those DLC weapons, which is something that we've wanted in Black Ops 4 since the launch of the game. When they first started introducing DLC weapons, we all wanted a way to directly earn these weapons, and now we finally have that, and it's making me want to go back and play the game even more, and like I said, I've been on the game every single day for the past week. Now, while it's obviously fun for me to go back and do contracts and try to complete specific challenges across all the different game modes, I still find it really enjoyable to just simply level up, right? Leveling up in Black Ops 4 for some reason has been a lot of fun, but most importantly, I really enjoy the gameplay that Black Ops 4 has to offer. I mean, don't get me wrong, completing challenges will always be fun. In fact, that's one of the only things I enjoy about Modern Warfare. For some reason, I find enjoyment in doing the officer rank challenges, but when it comes to Black Ops 4, I have all the multiplayer challenges already done, but I still have fun doing contracts and simply just playing the game, right? The gunplay, the actual gameplay of Black Ops 4 is just so freaking good to me, and after playing Modern Warfare since launch, and of course all the older games as of recently, I forgot how much I enjoyed the changes that Treyarch decided to implement with the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. I love the fact that gunfights are actually a thing. The manual healing, along with the silky smooth movement and the high health pools, really allow you to outperform other players with your skill, rather than simply holding a corner or setting claymores in windows and doorways and things like that. It's a much more fast-paced, run-and-gun, skill-based game, I would personally say, but obviously skill is subjective. We're talking about a different kind of skill. The skill it takes to be good in Black Ops 4 is much different than the kind of skill that it takes to be good in a game like Modern Warfare, but this kind of skill is much more my forte. It's a kind of gameplay that I really enjoy playing, and I'm having a lot of fun with that as of recently. I would say the biggest downside to Black Ops 4 right now is the fact that it's basically going to be dead in the water for at least the next 6 months or so, and while it's still likely that 99% of the community does not have every DLC weapon, and therefore we have a lot to continue playing for, Treyarch has still basically confirmed that they're not going to be adding any real content to the game because they are focusing on Call of Duty 2020. Now, with that being said, there is definitely room for more content to be added to Black Ops 4 before Call of Duty 2020 comes out. For starters, the MP40 submachine gun has been available in Blackout for ages now, but it hasn't seen the light of day in multiplayer, which really makes no sense whatsoever. That used to be true for the Grav, otherwise known as the Galil, but as you guys know, eventually Treyarch decided to add attachment functionality to that weapon, and they released it to everybody as part of a free community challenge. The same could be done for the MP40, and if they were to do that, I feel as though it would bring a lot of players back to the game, although after doing some research, it appears that David Vonderhaar has said on Twitter that he has PTSD from the MP40 after how overpowered it was back in World at War, and he doesn't really want to add it to Black Ops 4. Now obviously he's joking here, but still, I think it would be sick to see the MP40 in multiplayer, especially as a community weapon challenge that everybody could unlock and basically just have immediate access to, but I guess we'll have to wait and see. We have no idea if the MP40 is ever actually going to make it into the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. Now on top of that, we have a few other weapons that are currently exclusive to the Blackout and Zombies game modes, which could fit right into the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. We have weapons like the Hitchcock M9 assault rifle, we have the S-Cargo submachine gun, we have the M1927 submachine gun, otherwise known as the Tommy gun. I would love to see that in the multiplayer. We have the SX Model 7 marksman rifle, which I don't know if that should come to multiplayer. It's really bad in both Blackout and Zombies, but that's another weapon that is in those modes that is not in multiplayer. We have the Zweihander light machine gun, and we even have secondaries like the Welling revolver and the M1897 trebuchet shotgun. All these weapons exist in-game. They have camo functionality, and most of them have inspect animations already finished, so all Treyarch would really have to do is add attachment support and then try their best to balance those weapons around the other weapons that are currently live within the Black Ops 4 multiplayer. On top of that, do you guys remember when Black Ops 4 was first being teased by Treyarch, they decided to retroactively go back to Black Ops 3 and add map variants as well as a bunch of Easter eggs into that game, which gave us hints as to what was going to be in Black Ops 4. That was a really fun and interesting time. It was a really good way to hype up the game. Well, I feel as though they're probably going to be doing that when Call of Duty 2020 gets closer to launch, with the rumors that Call of Duty 2020 is essentially going to be Black Ops 5, but with a lot of aspects from the first Black Ops game. I think it's really likely that Treyarch is going to be going back into Black Ops 4 and doing some very interesting things to the game leading up until the launch of Call of Duty 2020, but as of right now, we really have no idea. That seems like the likely route that they're going to be taking because they've been doing that a lot as of recently. Who remembers there was a bunch of things in Black Ops 2 which gave us hints towards Black Ops 3. They seem to do this every single time they put out a new game, but we don't know if they're actually going to do it this time around. But I'm just saying there is a lot of potential for more content to come to Black Ops 4 in the future, and I would definitely like to see that. But regardless of what happens, I've been having a lot of fun going back to Black Ops 4 as of late, which is why I wanted to make this video here today. The game is still quite heavily populated, at least on console. I know it's a little bit different on PC, but on console, finding matches is no problem whatsoever, and most of the hardcore player base has moved on to Modern Warfare, so the level of competition that you see in Black Ops 4 these days is nothing like you saw back in 2018 or 2019. It just you hop on, everyone there's new, you just run through them, you complete your challenges, you unlock camos, and you unlock new DLC weapons by doing contracts. It's a really fun gameplay experience, and I highly suggest you guys go back and give the game a try if you haven't played it for 2, 3, 6 months, or even a whole year, right? It's a really fun gameplay experience I highly recommend you guys go back and check out. If anything, it's a fun thing to do while you wait for Season 2 of Modern Warfare to come out, and as always, I will do my best to keep you guys posted with any and all news for both Black Ops 4 and Modern Warfare as the months go by. But for right now, I'm going to wrap up today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please drop me a rating, and let me know what you guys think about Black Ops 4 now down in the comment section below. Obviously, the game got a lot of flack back during its life cycle due to all the issues I discussed already here in this video, but now that most of those have been resolved and the game's been out for a while and you can go back and really try to judge the game after the fact, what do you think of it now? Leave your thoughts and feedback down in the comments. Thank you all so much for listening, and I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.